All right, today we're going to break down a system for taking back your mental energy from all the chaos of daily life. And look, this isn't just about trying to avoid conflict. It's about building a solid framework for a life that you actually design on your terms.
So the big goal here isn't just to dodge drama. It's to achieve what the sources call energy sovereignty. And this is a really key idea. It's all about shifting from being, just a passenger getting knocked around by chaos to becoming the actual architect of your own peace of mind.
Now, I love this quote because it completely reframes how we think about drama. It's not some random thing that just happens to you. Nope. It's more like a fire. And a fire needs two things from you to keep burning: fuel, which is your attention, and oxygen, which is your reaction. You take those away, the fire just goes out.
Okay, so let's dig into the problem first. We're not just talking about drama in a vague sense. Think of it more like a hidden tax on your mental bandwidth. The sources have a great term for this: your emotional overhead.
Here's a way to think about it. Your peace of mind is one of your most valuable assets. Seriously. And every single bit of drama is like a withdrawal from that account. So the whole point is to protect that asset with the same kind of focus you'd use to protect your bank account.
And get this, the sources are really clear on this point. About 80% of drama is internal. It starts inside our own heads with how we choose to interpret things and how we decide to respond. And you know what? That's actually amazing news, because it means the most important work, the real change, starts with you.
So that brings us to our first pillar. This is all about mastering that 80% that's completely within your control. This is where you really start taking your power back from all those external things you can't control.
This is a game changer, you guys. It's this tiny but powerful shift in your language, from blame to ownership. The sources call it radical ownership. Basically, you stop letting other people control your emotions. The moment you stop saying, "they made me feel," and start saying, "I chose to react," you totally short-circuit that victim loop that keeps drama on life support.
So how do you actually do this? Well, here are 3 super practical, tactical steps. First, the pause. That 24-hour rule for a hot-headed email, it's gold. It gives your logical brain time to catch up. Second, perspective scaling. Just ask yourself, is this really going to matter in 5 months? That helps you decide if it's even worth your energy. And finally, selective silence. This is huge. You do not have to show up to every argument you're invited to. Okay, so we've covered the internal work. Now let's talk about how you manage your interactions with other people. This is all about engineering your environment to support that peace you're building.
This is such a powerful reframe. It's so easy to think of boundaries as these big defensive walls we put up, but they're not. They're more like gates. And a gate has really clear instructions on how to enter respectfully. It's not about rejection, it's about direction.
And speaking of who gets to come through that gate, you gotta be on the lookout for what the sources call emotional arsonists. You know these people. They're the ones who love to start fires everywhere and then act totally shocked when things get hot. Your job is not to be their personal firefighter. It's to protect your own house.
And here are a few common types to watch out for. You've got the volcano, who's always in crisis mode. The gossip, who uses secrets to make themselves feel important. The victim, for whom nothing is ever their fault. Just being able to spot these patterns is a huge first step in deciding who gets your time and energy.
And remember this one. It's so simple, but so many of us struggle with it. No is a complete sentence. When you over-explain your boundaries, all you're doing is inviting people to negotiate them. A calm, clear no is incredibly powerful. All right, our final pillar is all about tactics. This is where we shift our communication style from something that accidentally fuels drama to something that actively diffuses it. It's about changing the rules of the game. The absolute core principle here is to stop what's called triangulation. That's just a fancy word for bringing a third person into an issue that's only between two people. Gossiping. Gossip is the fuel of drama. If you keep trading in it, you're going to have to pay the price. Before you talk about someone, try running what you're about to say through this simple, incredibly powerful filter, the 3 gates. Is it true? Is it kind? And is it necessary? If you can't pass through all 3 of those gates, it's probably best to just keep it to yourself. This one habit alone can wipe out a ton of needless conflict. This table just lays it all out so clearly. Look at the contrast. Instead of passive aggression, you have direct, private conversation. Instead of blaming, you always statements, you own your feelings with I feel statements.
These might seem like small shifts, but believe me, they have a massive impact.
So, what's the end game here? Where does all this lead? Well, the ultimate strategy is actually pretty counterintuitive. It's not about fighting harder or winning more arguments. It's about becoming a totally different kind of target.
See, people who thrive on drama are looking for a show. They feed on big emotional reactions. When you don't give them one, when you just stay calm, neutral, predictable, they get bored. It's no fun for them, so they just move on to find a more exciting audience. Your stability actually becomes a kind of drama repellent.
And this formula just wraps the entire system up in a nutshell. Drama needs three things to exist. It needs ego, that deep need to be right. It needs reactivity, that emotional spark, and it needs an audience, someone to watch the performance. You take away any one of those three things, and the whole house of cards just collapses.
So in the end, protecting your energy, achieving that sovereignty, it all boils down to this one single powerful choice. Winning some argument often costs way more mental energy than it's worth. So the next time you feel that pull, that tug into a conflict, just stop and ask yourself this question. The answer will almost always point you toward a more peaceful, drama-free life.